So I shared that.
What did you share?
Welcome into
Jeff.
What'd you share? Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. I'll do the intro after you finish your
Yeah,
sentence.
well,
Go
I
ahead.
shared on the platform formerly known as Twitter, but also with you guys as well, an entire breakdown of basically all the relevant numbers that you're tracking today for franchise milestones, for contract incentives, for player highs, those types of things. And so, I mean, the sheet I've got about 150 lines of, well, about 75 lines of different numbers. So you can find that on my Twitter, my X profile, or you guys can find that in your DMs.
That's what we call a teaser. We're going to get to that in a minute. But guys, welcome into Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. As always, I am a host of this show, Joey Wright, and I've got Jeff and Jagger with me for the last time this year. And I'm a little sad, but I'm also extremely happy and a little delirious of what's going to happen in this show, because why are you playing in week 18 if you're here? But if you're here to tell us how wonderful and how beautiful and how handsome we are, thank you for being here. Jeff and Jagger, how are you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I'm ready for the regular season to be done. I'm ready for
Mhm.
every game to matter, specifically this week to be over, because this is like the week between Christmas and New Year's, but for football, because it's like, okay, the year's ended. Now we need to wait on this other holiday called playoffs. I am full of dairy. I don't know what hour it is. Who's playing? Who knows? But we're all here.
Yeah.
I am of two minds, and one, the content season is long and it is a grind, and I think we are all very tired. That being said, it means a lot to be able to share this time with you guys every week, to be able to share this with our listeners, our subscribers, all these people that join us and ask us these questions. It means a lot to have the trust to be able to be asked these questions. And so, of one mind, I'm tired and I'm ready for some quieter Sunday mornings. On the other mind, I absolutely love what we're able to do. I love that we can reserve this time. I love that people come in and are willing to trust us with that. And it's not handled lightly in terms of what we can give back to you.
Absolutely. And Jeff, it's what I gave back to you today. I wore a shirt for you today. I don't know if you've noticed it yet.
I love that.
Is that Lana Del Rey?
No, that's Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah,
I wore this for Jeff.
Damn.
I saved it for week 18 because we would need the power to get through it. You know, she married an airboat captain, Lana Del Rey.
Oh,
yes,
that,
yes.
Oh,
I'm
way deep into that, like way too deep, because it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Yeah, it's funny.
Show
that
up
you
for the
guys
wild
are
card
like
week
older.
where we break down Lana Del Rey's marriage.
Yeah, so you guys are older than me, but like in music, you guys are like, yeah, I love Olivia Rodrigo. You are down with like the new stuff. I've never even heard of some of the things you guys are talking about.
we have daughters, man. We're girl dads.
Yeah, it's true.
Daughters in that phase.
Guys, I want to ask you about your championships. And Jeff, I want to go to you first. We heard that you had, I think it was, how many matchups was it championship weekend?
I had 8 championships.
And how'd you do in those matchups?
I went 5-3. And in our mind, it's always, 5 wins. You'll take that. It's always the losses that sting a little bit more. One of them was my home league to my brother-in-law, Kevin, who he's a fun fantasy player. And I wrote a little bit about the value that my home league gives me in last Monday's article. One was a Footballguys Dynasty League, and it would have meant a lot to win this league because I was last place in year 1 last year. Well, in Dynasty, I got the 101. That means Caleb Williams, and I made it to the title game in the second year, and I played somebody that is near and dear to me, and he was able to beat me.
Yeah, Jeff, all I'll say is that, it just gives you something to play for next year. And the beautiful trophy and the mountain of cash that I won from that league, I will rest upon and be happy and think of you fondly.
He's gonna send you pictures
that's awesome.
of him Scrooge McDucking in like $50.
I believe
it's like a free league.
I was so excited to win it. I think it's my second year in as well, and I had a good run in the playoffs. My team is probably not as good as Jeff's, and I just had a good run in that league. And then Monday night with Goff and Laporta connecting for the touchdown, that kind of won the week for me. And I was excited. I hopped in the chat. I was like, so what do I win? And I was like, oh, free league. Great. Awesome.
And then you left.
For bragging rights.
And then you left the league, Joey.
So I didn't leave. I'm not going to be like, I won the championship, I'm leaving. We have a lot of great, wonderful new staffers here at Football Guys, and I parted ways from that league to stay in a second dynasty league of Football Guys that we have to bring in some new staffers to get some new blood in there. I beat all those people. I don't need to play them again. Sorry, Jeff. That's rude. But Jagger, I already asked you how you did prior to the show, but you didn't do so good. But what lessons can you pull from that this year?
My biggest thing, I've talked to Jeff with this on our show, is I am not going to depend on rookie running backs. And even with this class that we have coming out, and a lot of people are excited for, what we do is we think, yeah, this guy's going to come in. I am 100% sure that he's going to get behind a vet, and that team doesn't love him. They're looking to replace him, and he's going to get starting time. That was my big killer. The difference maker would have made me a winner or finishing a lot more money was running back, because I'm picking through like Tank Bigsby, all these, maybe if he gets his shot, he'll earn the spot. And I just should have paid up for, Saquon Barkley was free considering what he did for you. Derrick Henry was free. Joe Mixon, even though we hated him, to get me at least a little further along in some leagues, I could have gotten him for free.
Perfect. I went,
because he didn't do anything.
It's true. But I would have made more championships.
I had 5 championships that I competed in last week. I have one still going this week. It's like a 2-week final. I'm going to lose that one. So I will eventually go 4-2. But I had a really good Monday night. I bit all my fingernails off, but I won FSGA, Fantasy Sports and Gambling Association, their national championship. So now I get to go to their Champions League. And then I won Flex Leagues in New York that Jake Seeley from The Athletic puts on, which was the feather in my cap after getting demolished in the finals last year. Super excited to win that one and get to go to New York and accept a trophy at Sirius XM Radio. So that'll be really fun. Well, they're recording in the room, so that'll be super fun. But guys, enough about us and our championships, because no one here cares about your championships except yourself. But we care about your championships in the chat today. So please, if you're here watching us, thank you so much. If you've got no questions, let us know how your weekend went. We want to talk about that too. That's part of this all. But let's look at who is going to be out today. I had sent Dylan, and I'm going to give a big thank you to Dylan at the end of the show. I'm not going to give it to him now. A graphic that I wanted that said everyone is out today, because it truly feels like everyone is not going to play in week 18 for different reasons whatsoever. We're just going to run through them. Anthony Richardson, Derek Carr, Chris Olave, Isaiah Pacheco, Gus Edwards, Joshua Palmer, and Amir Abdullah. Jeff, I'm going to ask you about 2 running backs that if you need to sub in today, J.K. Dobbins and Alexander Madison. Where is your confidence level in either of those running backs? And keep in mind, one of those running backs might have been declared out in the last 5 minutes, and I would not know.
Very high on J.K. Dobbins. The Chargers are playing for the 5 seed. They can win today. They can knock the Steelers down. With that Steelers loss last night to the Bengals, they can knock the Steelers down to the 6 seed. Should they beat the Raiders, I'm very confident the Chargers will go out and really put it on the Raiders and be able to clinch that. I think when you look at it, you would much rather have the 5 seed playing Houston in round 1 versus playing the Baltimore in round 1. And what we've seen from Baltimore of late, I'm going to pick the Houston team over Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in round 1. And so I think that's there. Alexander Madison is playing for a little bit, but he needs a lot to be able to get it. He needs 8 catches to hit a contract incentive. So 8 catches from Alexander Madison, that's rather a lot. But again, you've got the Raiders running up against the Chargers that are highly, highly motivated this week. That being said, in our minds, we think about draft position. Those players on the field are not thinking about draft position. And there are a lot of teams on the other end that would love to play spoiler. And we don't really count that in. But thinking back to last year, the Jaguars, if they would have beat the Titans, they would have been in the playoffs. And then the Titans had absolutely nothing to play for, but they said, we're going to go out there and we're going to beat the Jaguars to end their season. And don't discount some of those today.
That's kind of what I'm hoping that the Chiefs do today. Is I hope that second string of the Chiefs goes in and beats the Broncos, which I don't think is going to happen. But I want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. That's just me. I know the Dolphins, I think, need to lose as well. So there's a few things that need to happen. But I want Joe Burrow to get to the playoffs. He got me to the playoffs in a lot of leagues.
The Chiefs do not want Joe Burrow to get to the playoffs.
They don't. They don't.
I think the Jets could go out and beat the Dolphins with that type of mindset to eliminate the Dolphins. The Chiefs are pragmatically do not want a hot Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in the playoffs relative to a rookie Bo Nix that I think they probably think they can handle rather easily.
I am hoping from that Chiefs game today, what I get is something I've been waiting for a couple years. I hope like Samaje P. Ryan has like 200 total yards and like 3 touchdowns. Like just give me one game that doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. Just give me that one game of Samaje just going crazy. And like,
well, Joey, if Samaje P. Ryan has 159 rush yards, he'll hit a contract incentive as well. So
if I had the money, I'd give it to him without even hitting it because he's just so wonderful. I love him so much. So those are the guys that are out today. Questionable. These guys are probably out too. Patrick Mahomes, Darnell Mooney, Christian Watson, George Kittle, Tony Pollard, Chico Conquo, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. No, I'm going to go back to you, Jeff, because Tyreek Hill does have an incentive today, doesn't he? If he hits,
he's chasing numbers. He does not have money that he's trying to hit, but if he has, I've got him as 4 receptions will get him to 800 on his career, and he needs 61 yards to get to 1,000 on the season. Out of this list, Tony Pollard is the most relevant. Tony Pollard is chasing. He needs 83 yards and 2 touchdowns to hit 2 different contract incentives. Darnell Mooney is another one that pops up. He needs 8 yards to hit 1,000 yards. That's kind of what we're looking for this week out of some of these of between, if you're not playing for playoff position, then are you chasing numbers? Are you chasing some money in your contract?
I just want to hit on Joe Burrow again. I've started best ball for playoffs, and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow being that cheap, I was just like, I gotta, like I've clicked them a couple.
Well, people give you a 0 for free in best ball, Jag. So there you go.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
Expected to play today. Austin Eckler was activated from the IR and is expected to start today for the Commanders. Surprise! Commanders can move up and draft and seeding correctly today, Jeff.
They can lock in the 6th seed. So they can lock in the 6th seed and play. The Rams have announced that they're not going to play anybody because it's Sean McVay and he doesn't care. So if the Buccaneers win, which they probably should, then they would play the Commanders as the 6th seed, and the Packers would be playing. Well, the Packers would play the Eagles.
And the Bucs have already beat the Commanders once this season, but that's a different Commanders team. This Commanders team now is a little more scary than that week 1 was.
And no offense to your Buccaneers, Joey, but if my choices are playing the Eagles or the Buccaneers in round 1, I'm probably going to pick the Buccaneers.
100%. I mean, that Bucs defense, like I've said 100 times, is not that great. Now, Baker's playing lights out right now, but, I'd rather go against a team with the weak defense. So, yeah, but Eckler will be out there today. Joe Flacco with Anthony Richardson on the bench will be starting. Drake May expected to play today, and Tanner McKee, for all you Tanner McKee fans out there. And if you're in the crowd at Lincoln Financial today, you might catch a Tanner McKee touchdown ball. They apparently just fly into the crowd with no warning whatsoever. And then not expected today. Oh, that's where Dylan put it. Oh, wait, no. Every major player for the Eagles, they're all out. So if they've got a pulse and they're on the Eagles and they're good, they're not playing today. So no Saquon breaking a record today. So Eric Dickerson, you can stop complaining and sit at home and be happy. Alvin Kamara, not expected to play today, as well as Cade Otton, Tajay Spears. Jeff alluded to the Rams are kind of sitting everybody. So Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford will also be out. Now, Jeff, I did say I was going to give you your flowers. You put out 4 incredible articles this last week that I read every bit of, even though I did mess up the Tyreek Hill part there earlier, but that's fine. About incentives and milestones that players can hit. Mike Evans needs 85 or is it 87 yards?
Mike Evans needs.
I thought it was 85.
It is 85.
Yeah. 85 yards to hit 1,000 receiving yards.
11 is what
83. 83 yards to hit 1,000 yards for the 11th time in his career. What does Cortland Sutton need today, Jeff? Incentives.
Cortland Sutton needs 82 receiving yards to hit a contract incentive. He also could hit another one with 3 touchdowns if the Broncos make it in the playoffs. 3 touchdowns is a lot of touchdowns in a day, but he's chasing those 82 yards to hit some money there.
And then DeAndre Hopkins is chasing a touchdown, but it doesn't look like he's going to start today. So it was a pretty good incentive too. So 1 touchdown would have put him at 6 touchdowns, which would have netted him some money. So that'd have been cool.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins had a bunch of numbers that he was chasing. 9 receptions would have hit a threshold, 140 yards would have hit a threshold, 1 touchdown, 16 receptions, which again is a lot in a game, would be 1,000 career receptions, and 35 yards would put him at 13,000 career yards. But apparently he's one of the key Chiefs, even though they stopped throwing him the ball.
And we don't talk a whole lot of props on here, but this is how I did some prop bets this morning. Is I read Jeff's articles and I went and I just like, okay, what do they need to hit? They can do that. Click. And
the books know it, so you'll find a lot of these lines. I think like Cortland Sutton needs those 82 yards. His numbers like right at it, and Tony Pollard's numbers like right there too. So the books know what they're doing, and they've probably cooked in a little bit of that of playing that. So I don't necessarily know that there's an edge to playing those incentives, but it is a number out there.
Yeah, I was surprised the Bucks Mike Evans line is like over 100 yards, so like way over what he needs. And I was like, man, they don't want anybody betting on this because they must think it's really going to happen. And I really hope it does, just for me. You'll hear me all the way from Orlando, Florida, if it does happen, wherever you are, because I'll be screaming and it'll be that loud. Tony Pollard also, what's he going for today, Jeff?
Tony Pollard has 2 different numbers. He can hit 83 rush yards and 2 touchdowns. Will unlock 2 different incentives for him.
Okay. And Baker Mayfield has like 12 different things he can hit today, I think, from your chart.
Baker Mayfield, he's made the news because of contract incentives, but he's kind of locked in to any incentives that he can hit. He's got and there's been some confusing graphics on him because he has a bonus that if he's in the top 10 in pass yards and pass touchdowns, which he will be, but he needs to increase all of his efficiency metrics from the year before, and he didn't hit it with the interception, so he's not going to get that bonus. He's chasing some significant numbers, though. If he gets 4 passing touchdowns, he'll tie Tom Brady's franchise record for 43 Buccaneers pass touchdowns. If he gets 1 pass touchdown and 1 rush touchdown, he'll join the 40-4 club, which I think right now there's only 4 members of. Lamar Jackson this year was one of those, but in NFL history, only 4 players have hit 40 touchdowns passing and 4 rushing touchdowns. And those are the key numbers for Mayfield. But when it comes to contract incentives, he's pretty locked into what he can receive.
Okay. All right. And then Geno Smith, he's playing up against his 2022 numbers. Is that correct?
Geno Smith is playing against his 2022 numbers. He only needs 186 pass yards in order to unlock that incentive. But there's a little catch on Geno Smith because he needs to be efficient. And if he drops below his completion percentage from 2022, he'll actually lose money. So it's kind of one of the, he can't just go out there and chuck it. He's really close to that completion percentage number. So I calculated out if it was something of 18 for 30, he would actually lose that incentive. So the idea that he's going to go out there and chuck it just to hit the number is not exactly correct.
So Jagger, you hear Jeff and myself talking about some of these players and saying that, well, they need to have efficiency numbers. So their passing efficiency needs to be up. If it's like a reception percentage with like Baker and Geno, would you lean yourself to saying, okay, well, maybe these running backs might catch some checkdowns a little bit, so they might end up being good plays, or are you not reading that too much into the leaves? You're muted.
I don't think you can lean too much into that because I don't think in the middle of a play, you can. Some people make decisions, or let's say business decisions, more like I just don't want to get hit or whatnot. But I don't think you're thinking, wow, here's money, I'm going to check down. You're more of a just going through your progression. And if you are thinking like that, you're probably not playing very well. So if anything, I think the incentives will make me want to play the player chasing an incentive, but I'm not going to go as far as to, well, I think this is going to change the game flow for this particular player.
Yeah, when you look at those, we talked about Evans' incentive playing there with Baker Mayfield. Mayfield has basically come out and said that his goal today is get Evans that money or get him those numbers because it means a lot. So that's one area there. When you look at the Seahawks, Jackson Smith-Njigba needs 4 receptions to tie Tyler Lockett's team record for most receptions in a season at 100. And DK Metcalf is close to 1,000. He needs 61 yards to hit 1,000 receiving yards. So we know the Seahawks aren't playing for anything. There's incentive on Geno Smith getting the ball to his receivers there in terms of chasing some numbers. And Baker Mayfield, obviously, it means a lot. They need to win this game to make the playoffs. And I would expect they're going to take care of the Saints rather easily.
And then Kyler needs a rushing touchdown and 50 yards to hit 2 of them, right?
Yeah, he with 600 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, he would unlock numbers, and so he needs 50 more rush yards and a rushing touchdown.
With a player like Kyler Murray that's so into video games, do you think unlocking like different little, things will be a little more appealing to him?
Joey, as somebody that is just trying to unlock random players on NBA 2K whenever I have a free moment, I absolutely think that Kyler Murray would be trying to unlock some achievements.
I think
they should just get him a virtual trophy too. I would list that in his contract. You'll receive this virtual achievement trophy on your Xbox, Kyler Murray, if you get this incentive.
Well, I think this is the longest we've gone through an intro because this is good because we need to buy time today. Like Phil. But guys, we'll be here today with you until 12:30, whether we want to or not. We do want to be here with you. I'm just kidding. To answer all your questions, hear about your championships, talk ball, just to hang out. Jeff will be here with us for another 10 minutes, and we'll be so sad to see him go. And then Zare is going to be in here with us for the second half hour, and then he'll jump over to the Discord to do the Sunday morning AMA. And then Adam Hutchinson will come in here and go through some of these injuries with us, maybe with a look towards next season a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into some of these questions. Pigskin Panic is giving us the cool sign and peace. Thanks for being here with us. Appreciate that. And Jake, yeah, why is anyone still playing? We love this game. That's why we're playing. We're having a good old time. Huckleberry Pop-Tart. Oh, it's got an actual question for us. Thanks for being with us this season, Huckleberry Pop-Tart. Hey, guys, in week 2 of the championship, I need 1 running back and 2 flex. So let's get his running back out of the way first, Jagger. Between Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr., Kenneth Gainwell, Blake Corum with Kyron Williams is out today. And then Davis. I don't know if that's... so let's get the running back for him.
Pollard? I think Washington has more of an incentive to keep Brian Robinson healthy. That if I am thinking like that, and what are the Titans playing for? A draft pick, and I don't know. So I'd go with Pollard there.
Yeah, and then a flex out of McMillan, Hawkinson, Mims. Any of those other players for the flex for you?
For sure, McMillan. I think McMillan should be in your lineup. Jeff, I'll let you pick one. Mims, maybe.
If I'm not picking McMillan, Mims, yeah, we saw that big performance in week 17. I think he's kind of stepped up there. That we know that the Broncos have to win, and so that's kind of landing there.
On this question, real quick, I kind of want to talk about Jalen McMillan, and not just because he's a Buccaneer, but just because he is a late round wide receiver that kind of has broke out at the end of this year. Do you guys see this being the way for him going forward? Like, where is he compared to some of the other rookies in the wide receiver class of this last year?
Well, let me turn it on you first. Who's Chris Godwin going to play for next year?
I think now somebody else. I don't think until we saw from Jalen McMillan, I was comfortable as a Bucs fan saying like, okay, yeah, Godwin's gonna be back next year. Or this kid, I don't know how good he is, because we've seen Trey Palmer not be exactly what we thought he was going to be. And I would say some of the beat reporters I've been reading aren't as concerned about Godwin staying. So I think there's a better chance he's not playing for the Bucs next year.
Yeah, our buddy John McGlynn is saying on Twitter right now, he's like, well, Luther Burden's going to go to the Buccaneers. I was like, why would the Buccaneers draft a wide receiver that high? Yeah, it's like he won't be there. 2, they're going to do defense. And 3, Jalen McMillan, he was playing like 80% of the snaps for a long time. It just took him a little bit to get there and to get that opportunity. To be honest, I'm all in. I'm not, like, say, for Dynasty, since a lot of you guys are probably focused on that if you're still playing, I would be paying an early second if someone's still willing to pay for that. And if I have extra first, especially late ones, and someone and you need a wide receiver, I'd be seeing what I could get for Jalen McMillan and maybe send a first for Jalen McMillan and a little bit of extra.
One other point on McMillan, it wasn't necessarily McMillan that made me think Chris Godwin could move on. What we saw as success out of Godwin this year is him moving back to the slot and him getting great slot numbers. What I've seen out of Cade Otton tells me, okay, our slot targets can go to Cade Otton. He can handle that work. He is injured right now, so how well can he handle it? But nothing really to do with it.
I've been impressed by both Payne Durham and Devin Culp, too, when given opportunities. I think that they'll be able to play multiple tight ends. I will say on Godwin and Jalen McMillan. I tend to agree with you that I think Godwin, if he hits the open market, will be, outside of T. Higgins hitting the open market, will be the most sought after player, even though there is that injury at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Typically, the Bucs have probably already earmarked money for Godwin. And so if they do allow him to walk, I would expect him to go out and have a meaningful addition, either in free agency. Maybe a guy like, I don't know if Hollywood Brown and Baker Mayfield share an Oklahoma connection. Maybe that might be kind of an under the radar move. I would expect them to go out and get either a veteran that they can plug into 3 wide receiver sets, or to dip back into the draft again. But I think that I agree with you that McMillan has shown enough over the last month to, that's really what you're trying to do in team building, is you get to these players like Godwin that do hit free agency. And if you're confident enough in the rookie that you drafted, you can fill there. Traditionally, though, we have seen additional players added to the mix. And so when we play the game of Dynasty, if they go out and sign Hollywood Brown, that might bring some shine off of Jalen McMillan, potentially, just kind of a value conversation.
Trey Palmer's there too. We keep forgetting about him. I think
he kind of
he's
lost
not bad. I don't think he lost his job. I'm not saying he didn't, but it's not because he just sucks. I just think Jalen McMillan, like, there's a lot of talent on that team, and I think he could kind of come back. I mean, apparently he just hasn't woke up angry in a while. Maybe he's just in a loving relationship and wakes up every morning seeing sunshine.
I'll see who else. Oh, speaking of new hires at Football Guys, Rachel's in here. Good morning, beautiful, amazing people. Who's excited for the Vikings tonight? Guys, who's going to win the game tonight?
Go Lions.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Lions, Rachel. I'm sorry.
Do you think? Oh, is she a Vikings fan?
She's big Vikings fan. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever not seen her in a purple shirt, to be honest. Like, I'm really trying to remember. She wears purple every time I see her. That's a good thing, Rachel. Not a bad thing. All right. Scampers in here. Good morning, Joey, Jagger, and Jeff. Did I read those in order? I did. Awesome. All right. And we discussed something last week, Jagger, behind the scenes, and I talked to Jeff about it, and he agreed. If you showed up this morning, we kind of want to reward you, and I'm going to go back through the chat. We do want to do a listener league. We want to thank you guys, and we want to play with you guys next year. So I will go through the chat after the show's over, write down all the names, and then randomly draw it. Maybe I'll do a little stream in the Discord to pull the names out. But we want to play in a league with you guys next year. Since you've been here with us all year, we appreciate you being here.
That means if you're here and you'd like to play in that league, make a comment so you can be on that list.
Yes, basically. Thank you, Jeff, for sorting through my madness to get the important message that needed to be said. Another newbie, Jeff Blaylock. Jeff, happy Sunday to you too, sir.
Jeff Hive,
the
growing at Football Guys.
So many Jeffs. I was tasked. I do many things for the Football Guys retreat. Peek behind the curtain, Muppet Show. We know what Joey's doing here, and I had to put together teams for Fantasy Jeopardy this week. And we had 3 guys named Jeff, and all 3 of those guys are on the same team. That's Team Jeff. And I smiled, and nobody else thought it was funny except for the Jeffs. They loved it. Scampers, you're wonderful, beautiful, and handsome. Tell someone you love them. Yeah, guys, get out there and tell someone you love them. Yesterday was my anniversary, so I told my wife I loved her a lot. And now she's got to wait a whole another year to hear from me again. Just kidding. Humble brag. Okay. Oh, speaking of, did they go away? No, they're still here. Good morning, my sweeties. I think Jagger stole my blouse.
Thanks.
Good morning. Not JB's grandmama. If you are not in the listeners league, I will be sad. So please.
I'll be, yeah, I need that. I need that. Like I need air.
I kind of just want to just give you the automatic bid. Like you got
kind of asking them to dox themselves though to be in that though. So
you can make another sleeper profile. Come on, JB's grandma. Yeah, I know you're old, but you got somebody out there who can help you out.
Awesome. All right. Scampers, 5 catches and 85 yards for Evans bonus. Yeah, I'm seeing 85 and I'm seeing 83. I'm seeing conflicting.
It's 85. I don't know where I got my number from, but it is 85. So I updated that, and I apologize if I made you be wrong.
No, ESPN was showing 83 yesterday as well. So, and
it was, I swear it was 83 on,
it was.
On PFR, Pro Football Reference is where I get most all my stats. And Doug Drynan is a Football Guys longtime friend and Football Guys member there. And I absolutely love Pro Football Reference and StatHead as well. And So if you read my article on Mondays, that's where everything comes from, is StatHead. But shout out to Doug there and the great work that Pro Football Reference does.
Jeff, we've reached the time for it's the last time of the season. We'll get to have you do it. But before you go, I just want to thank you for being here with us this season. I personally have had such a blast with you this year. So I'll see you in a week. That's not saying goodbye or anything, but for our viewers, this is kind of like me saying goodbye to you for a year. So bye, Jeff, but hit the people with it one more time. Jagger, do you want to say anything to Jeff?
I'll see him tomorrow.
Okay, you guys are the Dynasty Show.
It'll be a whole like 36 hours until I get to see Jag again. So yeah.
Yeah, they put me in I'm like, oh God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The guy from ESPN that goes in the basement and then they bring out for the draft. Mel Kiper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Mel Kiper at Football Guys. They just only let me out once a year. Let me out for about 16 weeks. Like, all right, Joey, go back in.
Yeah, Joey goes on we put him back on the shelf, like as a like a little elf on the shelf.
I was gonna say Joey on the shelf only comes out from August until this weekend.
All right, Jeff, hit us with it.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. If you're playing for today, then go out and win. If you're not playing for today, play for today. Always play for today. Find a way to play for today. Thank you all so much. Thank you to both of you two. This time does mean a ton to me to be able to reserve this time every week. Thank you all to our listeners and our subscribers. You are truly the Football Guys family, and you're the reason why we do it. And you're the reason behind the scenes we strive to build community, because I am a firm believer that in this game of fantasy football, you want the right answers, but we really want community. And I think that we're all searching that. But again, for the last time, I will not hit the red button.
Oh. He's a little long-winded today, wasn't he?
How am I supposed to follow that? That was beautiful.
He wrote it down before the show. He knew he was going to. Sorry, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just on vacation with family for the weekend. I'm at my nephew's 1-year-old birthday in San Diego. So we're just hanging out, and I am happy to be here with you guys for the final push of the
awesome.
Week 18
I hear San Diego, like if you live there, it's like the secret that everyone loves it, but they don't tell anyone because they don't want anyone else to come there because it's so wonderful.
Is
that
true?
They pretty much price you out, from what I've heard. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're too poor to be here.
There's nowhere to live out here for anybody who works on a normal living wage. I don't know I don't know how people afford it. It's crazy out here. It's beautiful. It's a huge city, but there's really anywhere you try to live, it's really expensive. Unfortunate.
I guess that's why the Chargers left.
Unfortunate. But I did wake up this morning and get a payout from one of my leagues I won. And it was a league that I thought it was pays out first, second, third, and it was actually winner take all. So the lump sum just came all to me this morning, and I was very happy about that. So that was cool. That was cool to see. And it was the league I got an F grade in from the site that I drafted it on.
Heck yeah.
And then everybody in the chat was just talking so much smack on draft weekend to me. And I was like, all right, cool. So I took the F picture. I made it my profile picture for my team. And then I just kind of it was what Jeff said, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. And I was just like that the entire time, just push forward one.
That's a fantasy story right there. It's like my friends disrespected me, and I dedicated my entire season to shaming them.
Yeah,
like that is what it's about. It's about community. But it's love and hate. It's a love and hate relationship, guys.
It definitely is. And like I was lighting them up in the chat after I won. Also, the money is great, but I just wanted to win. That's it. That's all it really was. And it's really weird because fantasy football, this is the only sport that money would always be a nice incentive in anything. Like if I play a golf tournament or something like that, but in fantasy football, just give me the pride, just give me the W and the title. And that's what I love about fantasy football so much. Are people asking for questions? Are people asking for help today?
But we're also just we're kind of just vibes today, kind of chilling with people. When you hear about the championships, if they win any. So you won one championship. Did you win any more?
No, I got booted. I'm in 9 leagues, 10 or 9 leagues total, including redraft and dynasty. Made 5 playoffs, and got booted from all of them and went to the finals and won.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on that big lump sum. I forgot about my underdog money. I thought the underdog money stopped after like the regular season. Yeah. Opened up underdog yesterday, and I was like, "Whoa, why is there money in here?"
It's like a weird like little savings account with like where interest goes negative or positive, usually negative for me. But I come away with like some pocket change from underdogs, which is cool. It just goes right back to them. So
Well,
I'm not a
I'm not gonna.
degenerate.
Go ahead, Jagger.
So I'm not degenerate. So a lot of times in my DraftKings account, in my underdog account, I look in there, I open it up, I'm like, wow, $45.
Yeah. I produced
20,
the good.
I think I got like 22 or something like that after like putting in like 150 or something like that. I'm not a big spender on all like on underdog.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to do one of those things where you max out a tournament, and by the end, I had like 50 entries in one of their tournaments in June, and I just got so sick of drafting by the end of it was like 50 teams I had to draft. I was like, I don't want to do any more underdog. And there are people who just do that all the time. They just max out tournaments constantly with like so many. I just didn't have it. It's like when if you're a kid and your dad catches you smoking a cigarette and he's like, here, smoke all 20 at once. That's what it felt like. I was like, I don't want any more drops.
That classic parenting. It's like
Yeah.
you smoked a cigarette. All right, here you go. Cancer right now.
Get it over with.
My dad did that to me too, and was shocked when I was like, again, when I was done. And he was like, whoa.
You're just like, back on another one.
Thanks for the nicotine addiction, Dad.
And now I can't see the color purple. So what do you know? So all right. Well, let's
all the way with Jake Lloyd, where he's just like, thanks to you, Dad. He's like in the mailman outfit, smoking a cigarette as a child.
And just a reminder to if you are watching today, we don't want to see your real names. We only want character names and funny avatars. No, keep it. If it's you, we love you. And we're happy you're here. Plan B is in here. 6 championships in the bag. Let's go. One still for week 18 to play. 12 out of 14 teams made the finals. It doesn't even have a question for us. They just know what they're doing. So congratulations on those 6 championships. Get one more. Make it 7.
Week 18 is 7. Week 18, I feel like for me is kind of where you go back into like sicko dynasty mode, where you're hoping to see all those guys play that you wanted to see in the preseason play. Like I really want to see like if Will Shipley gets touches today, or I want to see if like Frank Gore Jr. gets touches today for the Buffalo Bills. I feel like we're in the preseason again at this point.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Not JB's grandmama. An incentive for me is if I can move my trailer to a different state park by 6 p.m. today, I don't have to pay child support anymore. My sweeties. Yes.
Get it, dude. I believe in you. You
How
got a
hard
friend with a dually?
What'd you say?
So does she have a friend with a dually to come move that thing?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. How hard is it? I wonder how hard it is to get that thing going, to move that trailer.
We've come a long way. Like last year, I was like just terrified and everything. And I feel like we found the happy place where they know what they can put up here that I'll put on. But then they still leave me a couple that I can chuckle to myself about that people never get to see. But that's why you should be here in the chat so you can see all the horrible things they say.
We like to push.
Yeah. Scampers trade Lance to start for the Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys get a big L today. No, I don't know.
This is what Z was talking about. Like where did my dynasty first round pick from 2020 to 2023 end up?
Yeah. Where's Xavier Valade starting today? Anywhere for any teams? Jawar Jordan anywhere?
Don't talk about Jawar Jordan. I'm not about Jeff about that one. He's like, Jawar Jordan's going to be somebody. And I trusted Jeff, my co-host, a brother.
Jeff and I were racing to pick him up in different dynasty leagues we're in together. So, and I'm glad he got there before I did.
Yep.
All right. Jeff Blaylock in here. Jeff, I don't know why I stumbled on your last name because I said it twice earlier in the show. Non-PPR league. Since AJ Brown is sitting, I have to play one of Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, or Marvin Mims. Do you trust any of them?
Not Waddle.
Am I crazy that? Would you say, Jagger?
Not Waddle, oddly enough.
No, not Waddle.
Yeah.
Am I crazy that I wouldn't want to start Marvin Mims out of this group of guys?
No way.
After what we saw last week and what the Broncos have to do today, it would be Marvin Mims for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett Wilson and Rodgers did get on the same page last week. As far as what the people got to see, we don't know behind the scenes if they're speaking or not, but I think Wilson caught a touchdown last week from him. So yeah, but it'd be Marvin Mims for me, Jeff. It's kind of a spicy pick, but yeah.
Is Aaron Rodgers playing? Because he
I
needs
think
that
he
500
is.
that 500 touchdown, and Devontae Adams wants to do it. Right now, they're playing for themselves. They're just two
Yeah.
bros trying to go out in the sunset. So
This is
Garrett
the
Wilson
first.
is. Go ahead,
Good.
Joey.
I would say this is the first game ever that Aaron Rodgers has only cared about himself. This is the only one that
For
ever
sure.
happened.
Yeah.
Just this
Team
one.
first guy. Real team
Just
first
first.
guy.
All right. And then Rachel saying, Jagger, do you even know me? Well, Jagger, do you even know her?
Not like that, apparently. Apparently not very well. I apologize, Rachel. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah. So, you could smack him in the face when you see him on Friday. Matt B, I like rewards. Hey, and leagues. So Matt wants to get in the listener league. Matt, well, I'm going to draw him out, and we'll see who gets in. All right, Jeff. Oh, my. Oh, he added Keenan Allen. I was about to scold him, but he added Keenan Allen. So he doesn't get scolded.
It's like, Jeff, you're part of the
Zare.
squad. I will shame you, dog.
I'm still starting. Oh man, now you added Keenan Allen. That adds a little bit of floor element to it. Yeah, I think I'd start Keenan Allen. I don't know, man. The Bears have been terrible this year. Jeff, this is yeah, okay, so not well. Yeah, let's just roll with Mims again. Let's just roll with Mims. Do we think that Keenan Allen do we think Keenan Allen has anything left in the tank for one more year for some solid production for fantasy purposes?
I mean, he's a move tight end. He's like a slow Jonnu who can't block.
That's such a good comp.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what he is. If you really think about it, he's a thick slot or a skinny tight end. So I know I gotta get you,
Jeff saying Marvin. No, I meant Marvin, but I like Marvin Mims. I feel like Marvin is what Marvin Gaye's name should have been. Like the
Marvin
G at the end.
Gaye.
Marvin. Yeah, that's a nice name.
No.
That's not too bad.
Marvin Mims. Right. Lost 5 out of 5 of my $50 dynasty leagues and won my $300 league. Whoa! I read that exactly as it was written.
The math thinks that all worked out. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't do math.
So he lost. Yeah, I can do the math on this. $250 in entries, and he won $300. So he netted $50.
That's ROI, baby. Matt,
Beautiful.
you're in the club right now. You know how this game is won. If anyone complains about ROI, you show them that 50 and you throw it at him like Wolf of Wall Street style. You're like, get out of here, poor.
Matt can literally walk into a Longhorn Steakhouse and order their nicest steak and still have money for a tip. And I think that's a lot if you could do that.
That says something. That says something in today's economy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know. I think their nicest steak might be like $48. Matt, you gotta bring it down to like a New York strip. You can't get any fillets or like tomahawk T-bone steaks. New York strip, which is a great cut of meat. I used to be a meat cutter. My favorite cut of meat is the New York strip. You can do so much with it, and it's such a good piece of meat. But enough about pieces of meat. I'm happy to play in a Football Guys chat league as long as the app we use can render on my 2002 Motorola Razr, my sweeties.
Love that.
We'll make sure
they can't track you with that.
Matt, say I love you, Jeff Jagger. He just wanted you guys to kiss, apparently.
Can't ship us.
Scamper is just saying thank you. And thank you to all. People are just so thankful. We're thankful for you. So thankful.
Happy New Year.
Darnell Mooney out. Yep. Zare, Cordero Hodge. What are your feelings?
Oh, I was thinking, no. Nah. No. Ray. Let's get Ray going.
Love it.
I love what Ray went from. Well, he was on the Niners before, right? God, what was his history? Wasn't he Steelers before that? Yeah, he was
Steelers last season, and then he came to the Falcons.
Okay, yeah. I loved him. I've always loved Ray as a little slot guy, little gadget guy. I always thought he could be valuable as like this little PPR scam guy that can get easy touches in an offense. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to see him get a little action today. Hopefully.
Perfect. All right, Matt, bringing up something that I want to chat about. I always get F grades in leagues with kickers and DSTs because I don't draft them. Guys,
shark,
should we?
Matt. You're a shark.
You know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're flexing those players week in, week out. Anyways, have the leagues you guys are playing in, have they abandoned the kicker and the DST, or are you guys still playing with them?
No. Traditional redraft leagues, I think, pretty much like traditional, like kind of like casual redraft leagues with like friends or whatever. I think they still keep kickers in DST. I've been trying to get them out for so long, but they're still going strong with them. So I got to live and die by kickers sometimes. I mean, I got eliminated from playoffs because I was playing against somebody who had Justin Tucker in the semis, and he put up 19 points on me. And I was like, how am I supposed to? I did all the work this year for a kicker to beat me. Like what? And I had I don't know who I forgot who I had in my league. Or I had Jake Moody because I played in a league. Hold on, let me vent for a second. I played in a league that put an acquisition cap on free agency moves, and it was specifically biased towards me. They made it against me because in the second year I was playing this league in 2013, I made some pickups and drops. I dropped some guys and it locked other managers from picking those guys up. So the commissioner of the league, the commissioner was personally affected by one of these acquisitions drops I did. And then he made a rule called the Zade rule, where now we only have 45 pickups acquisitions we can make throughout the year. And I've been in this jail for like 10 years now. And every year I talk to him about eliminating it. And he goes, hey man, that's the way it is. Everybody voted on it. It's crazy because every year I vote to make this, I propose things to make the league better. I say, let's add another wide receiver. Let's do half PPR. Let's make it more fun. But they just make rules to put me in handcuffs. And so, I had Jake Moody. Long story short, I had Jake Moody on my team, and I couldn't pick up another defense. I couldn't pick up the Giants defense or the Falcons defense playing against the Giants, where they got 30 points that week. And I was holding the bag with the Cardinals DST playing the Panthers, and they put up -2 points. So, this is the work I do all year long, pickups and drops. And then once I get to the playoffs, I have no more moves to make every year. And then I get eliminated from the playoffs because of stuff like this.
Yeah,
that is awful.
To say, man, I'd quit. I'd freaking quit.
It's
real fast.
But these are my closest friends, and it's personal for me. I want to win so bad. And I feel like if I quit, it'll just make it awkward because fantasy football can do that. You can have falling out with people. I feel like in fantasy football, it's weird like that.
One of my groomsmen, I don't talk to him anymore. He's an asshole. Sorry, Joe.
There you go.
Flat out, don't talk to him anymore.
Because of fantasy, right?
Yeah.
It got to that point. Yeah.
I quit my
go ahead, Jack.
I quit my my home dynasty league because of that. Because we joke about we talked about shaming and disrespecting your friends. There is a fun line, but especially when you do this for a living, every mistake that you made becomes a thing. And then it's like you said, as a commissioner, I would try to do things to make it fun or make it easier. Or literally, I'm a professional dynasty guy, and I would give them advice to keep things going. And they make fun of me or whatever. Or they're like, well, why are we doing this? I'm like, because it's stupid and your way. And I want to make it fun. So I just quit, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They don't understand taking out kicker and DST, how it's better when you can add other flex spots and stuff like that.
I'll play as devil's advocate on one of those positions. Kickers, get them out. There's too many variables. But DSTs, I think you can have some fun with, and with some of the settings. We did in my main home league where we did if the fourth down stops, you get a point for a lot of little things we added in there, and it's actually made DSTs a fun position and one you can actually track the success to. It's not just whimming it.
So there's an IDP element kind of a little bit to that.
Kind of, yeah. But, the IDP is really, really intimidating to some people to have to start an individual defensive player. But just to say, okay, one whole defense, our home league's really enjoying the DST spot now. And Jagger talking about dynasty leagues. I'll tell you, one of the more fun things you can do is join a dynasty league and then beat the dynasty captain of a company in the championship. That's really fun. Jeff,
that ain't me. That happened to me.
All right. Kay Lest, the fantasy football community is no doubt one of the coolest things I've gotten to experience. Got to see it up close at the expo last year. Kay, I hope you said hello to me. I was there in probably a ridiculous outfit. I was wearing a romper this year to the Saturday night party. I had a fanny pack and I was handing out Jolly Ranchers.
I still got to go. You guys are usually on the panels, right? Aren't you guys on the panels over there? Right? No?
Yeah, no, I was. And then Jeff just smoked me on the panel and just made me look like a bag of poop.
Jeff and
Yeah.
Joey beat each other at each other's sports, essentially.
Yeah.
So
So
Jeff was funnier, and then Joey came
Yeah.
back and beat him in Dynasty.
That's exactly what happened. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So we were on a panel, and normally, like, you expect you have Joey right on a panel, he's gonna be comic relief. And I woke up that morning, I'm like, I've got a mission that I need to tell the people of how to get started in this industry, and I'm gonna be serious. And Jeff showed up there with like props and yucking it the whole time. And now the joke is that Jeff Bell is the funniest person at Football Guys. Which, for the record,
he's the
Jagger's
class clown now, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll say it again, just for the record, I think Jagger is the funniest person at Football Guys
Thank you.
in
I
my
appreciate
eyes.
that. You're
Yeah,
the
I'm not just
funniest
saying
of
that.
mine.
Thank you. All right, 1-1.
Wish-
We'll call Jeff to break the
Matt,
tie.
Man, I wish my parents did that with Urban Booze. Talking about the cigarettes. Yeah.
I thought that was kickers at DSTs. I don't know.
Yeah, Herb and Booze at kicker. Yeah, I did piss poor this year. Aside from the couple successful tanks, that tank was not Tank Dell. Might have been Tank Bigsby.
Yikes.
Ayo.
Tank Dell. Ugh,
Oh.
He had that one good week when I needed him to show up. Dynasty 101. Oh, great question. Let's go around the horn and say who our Dynasty 101 is. Single quarterback for me, it's Jamar Chase. Jagger.
So yeah, single quarterback Jamar Chase, super flex Josh Allen, maybe Lamar. I'd be okay with either.
Yeah, I agree with what you guys said. I mean, I still think Justin Jefferson's in contention for it.
100%.
Yeah, but
Say 101, Jefferson or Chase are up there. You could the Malik Neighbors arguments. Let's get a quarterback first.
man, it's gonna be amazing to see. We haven't even seen we've only seen 50% in the league of what he can do. He's been schemed up for like hitch routes and slants and like a deep dig every once in a while, and then he'll like be set up for like a fade route that just completely misses him, or he has to like contort his body in an extreme way just to get the ball.
Mhm.
That's all we've seen him do this year. We haven't really seen much out of him. Is it too early to talk rookie 101s, rookie draft 101s right now? Is that
No.
It's never too
Let's hear
early
it.
for me, Z. It's never too
Man,
early for me.
I know.
I've been arguing on Twitter most of this show. Who's your 101 right now, Z?
It's not Ashton right now, just because my personal philosophy isn't draft rookie running backs. I don't draft running backs in the first round usually. It's not something I do. I usually draft wide receivers, just because everything's more inclined towards PPR, and wide receivers catch balls more often. And so it's probably going to be either between. It's probably just going to be, for me, it's Tet. Tet's my 101.
Jagger, who's yours?
I was going to say Tet. Like I was pulling up my stuff. I swapped Tet and Ashton Genty, and it really is. It comes down to running back. We get screwed every year. This has been my message to the Dynasty community, is that the NFL does not care about fantasy. And I know everyone keeps saying that. So why, as we as Dynasty people, count starting running backs before they've even been drafted? And I'm a big early draft guy, but realistically, we're only going to have 3 spots where you're going to know that this guy's going to be the starter if they're healthy. So I'm big. I agree with Ted. It's interesting to see what happens with Travis Hunter, because a lot of people are scared because he plays more football than other people. So I don't know.
I'm sorry, Joe, you're about to say something?
I really wasn't. Oh, no, I was. Go ahead, and then I'll go. Go ahead.
I'm I wasn't as high on Jalen Milroe, the quarterback at Alabama. I had kind of low expectations for him. I still think he's gonna be like a day 2 guy. But I'm rising a little bit on him, just because I've seen what he had as far as the tools that he's shown. I'm not going over the top of them, but the tools that he's shown, obviously his physical ability as a runner, that's all been displayed, over and over again. But I think he's got actually better accuracy than I gave him credit for. And this is just me. I didn't give him credit for these things. I think he throws obviously a very good deep ball. I think he can create. He does a lot of these kind of throwing back over the middle of the field plays when the play kind of gets broken, which I don't think will work out in the NFL, and they've worked out at the college level so far. but I'm kind of just rising on him. He's better as a passer than I thought he was, and that's what I'll say about Jalen Milroe. I don't know. I still think he's definitely probably and the quarterback class isn't that strong, so he's probably the third best quarterback right now in the class. I think fourth best probably, but he's better than I thought he was. So I'll say that about Jalen. I don't know, Jagger. You've been watching a lot of film. What do you think, dude?
If you were worried about Anthony Richardson as like a evaluator, if anyone was, it'd be hard for me to like what I've seen out of Jalen Milroe, who has had vastly more opportunity.
Yeah.
Like everyone keeps talking about the Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett year. I don't think Cam Ward and Shooter Sanders are that. I just told Joey and Jeff that. I think Jalen Milroe is a trap, and I will avoid him like the plague. Like, to be honest, if he gets round 1 draft capital, I will not be having him, and he's the one I'll be drafting down, trading down to let someone else have what he runs. That's just me though.
My father-in-law did not submit a question on the show, but he texted me because he heard the conversation. What about the Penn State running backs, the duo they have there? Do you guys think they'll either?
I love Singleton. I've been waiting for Singleton to declare for a while. I think he's go ahead.
I was gonna say I have Singleton. He's a top 10 guy for me, and that sounds like vast, but like this is just a very deep class. I think he's one of the most naturally talented raw prospects, and that like he's really good, but Penn State doesn't teach a lot of polish. So like that'll be interesting to see where he falls. I think Katron Allen should stay. That's where I'm at. I think Nick Singleton come out. Allen should stay.
Perfect.
As far as like a dark horse candidate, people are going to start to hear this a lot. I'm a big Jarquez Hunter guy out of Auburn. He's had a kind of a turbulent career. I think he had some off the field issues 2 years ago or a year ago that kind of limited his opportunities. I believe he started half the year because of it. I can't exactly remember what happened, but I was putting together some rookie running back profiles, and I'm still in the early stages of it. So I'm just getting their kind of raw stats down. And as far as career yards per carry goes, anything over 6.0 is the 6.0 threshold is kind of like my gold standard. Anything above that is great as far as career yards per carry. And the only 3 above it so far out of, I think, 18 or 20 running backs I've done are Ashton Jeanty, Travion Henderson, and Jarquez Hunter. And Henderson and Jeanty are at 6.4 yards per carry, and Travis Hunter is at 6.3 yards per carry. And I think that's a standout. I think it's yards per carry is one of the ones that we always come back to as far as running backs go, because I think it's the one we always use. But obviously, it requires a lot of context, situational context. But it's notable that Hunter's up there, and I'm happy to see that he's up there above that threshold. Another one I think is another metric I think is really good is yards after contact per attempt, which will I think that's a really standout trait. And I think Nick Chubb's a really good. I always use Nick Chubb's college stats for kind of like a template for where I want to see running backs, go over. So I think Nick Chubb was above 3.7 yards per contact, and I kind of use that as my little threshold over there.
Perfect.
Anyways, I don't know how I got here. Sorry.
We got plenty of time. We got.
This is the week to do it. Yeah, I know how many questions we got. I want to get through them all, but
I also just noticed the lighting I have. I've been struggling with my lighting, and I kind of look like Nosferatu right now, so I'm sorry about that.
Have you seen Nosferatu?
I have.
I ready to go off.
Like Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Oh,
you really do.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was like, "Oh my God, Z! Like Halloween is nailed. Like you already got it, dude."
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna be the final scene Nosferatu. The final scene Nosferatu.
Oh, dude. Horrifying image. Horrifying. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna be Lily Rose Depp then.
Yeah. I'm gonna be Willem.
If I open these, I'll fry.
Have a pipe.
If I open these turns, I'll fry.
Spoiler for everyone who hasn't seen Nosferatu. He's got a stash, and it's awesome, and it works.
Yeah.
It totally worked for me. It really did.
Imagine Z but dead and like zombie like.
I mean, I could do it. I just need some like long fingernails, long fingers. I can do it.
Yeah. We don't talk movies too much, but I think Jagger, for me, it's my favorite movie of the year. Is it for you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so.
really solid.
Did you guys feel I know you guys are so much, you guys have platforms where you review shows and you have just better understanding of depth about movies. I left. I came in expecting something because of so much of the reviews. I didn't think it was bad, but I left feeling empty, like just nothing really. And I think there's a premise to it that I think is probably too mature to understand to discuss on the show. But like I felt more leaving Logan, like the movie Logan. Like I felt more sadness leaving that movie, or more emotion leaving that movie than I did Nosferatu. I mean, what?
Ask us that in the group chat, because we will get too far from
Yeah.
football, man. Ask us that in the group chat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's Adam.
No. I was ready to go off the rails, and thank you, Jagger, for
Yeah, I was
bringing
like, we
us
both
back.
are. I was about to say, I was like, you can't do this to us. Here.
And
This is
not that your feelings are not merited at all. Sorry, so it wasn't bad at all. It's like we could talk about this for literally hours. So, but hey, your time has come to an end. You are hopping over to the Discord to do the AMA over there. Bring all your mustache questions about Nosferatu over there to the AMA. Not here to us, because we will talk about it for far too long. But sorry, any parting words? Thank you so much for being here with us a few times this year. We appreciate you being here. Any parting words for our audience today?
No, I mean, thank you all for allowing me the opportunity, the audience, the staff, to be here. It's this Football Guys is one of those, I think it's the best fantasy football site out there. And I'm not saying that just, obviously because I'm a staff member here, but when I started in 2013, or when I started playing fantasy football in 2011, I quickly got tired of the rest of the fantasy football content out there. And when I stumbled onto the Football Guys, it was an episode with Sig Waldman and Cecil Lamney. And when I first heard them talk and discuss football, each of them came from a different viewpoint. And I always think about it like Sig was the philosophy professor, Matt was the football guy, and Cease was he was the behind the scenes guy. And it just came together so well. And I always looked up to fantasy Football Guys as that gold standard for me. And I never thought I'd be here. I never really tried. I never pushed. It just kind of like Joe found me, and he contacted me, and I'm here. And I mean, this is the greatest fantasy football site in the world. And each of you guys that are on here do incredibly good jobs. And like every day I'm here and I see you guys, I understand more and more and more and more and more why everybody is here. So just with that, I mean, and we have the chat, the community. I mean, I'm still a fanboy. Whenever Cease is on and Sigmund's on, I'm sorry, I know somebody else needs to come on right now. I just want to say that, like, whenever they're on, I'm in the chat. I'm a fanboy. I'm not even a ranker or anything like that. Like, I'm just like, I'm a fanboy automatically in the chat. I forget that I work at Football Guys. So just happy to be here. I love everybody here in the chat, and Happy New Year. And I'm ready for another awesome off season. So yeah.
Thank you so much. That was such kind words, and I think echoed 100 times through us as well. Thank you so much for being here. And enjoy San Diego, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, let's bring on. Where's? Did I freeze?
Something froze. I think.
Okay, yeah, kick him out.
There we go.
Adam, what's up, buddy?
What's up, boys? What's up?
It's last week.
I don't know how I follow that from Z. That was like so inspirational and heartfelt. I don't even know if I could say anything to match that.
There was one thing he said where he said, sometimes I forget I work at Football Guys. And I feel that I do, because sometimes I forget. And then Joe's like, Joey, get to work. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I work at Football Guys. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. That was
classic Joey. Classic Joey.
Oh, Joey. Yeah. Adam, I've started everybody's segment off with the same question. Tell me about the leagues you won last week. Did you win any?
I did. I feel like this is like the intro to Sunday Night Football, where I have to like give my resume. Adam Hutchison, 5'11", Purdue University. I was in 16 fantasy football leagues, made the playoffs in 12, won 6.
Heck yeah.
Nice, 50%. Look at that.
I like your tight number. Like I feel like you and I, Adam, are the only ones in like the industry that are like reasonable. I was like, I'm in 60 leagues, I got to cut down. I'm like, man, I lost 2 and I'm devastated. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. I have an Excel spreadsheet of like, these are my most expensive leagues. This is the amount of time I'm going to put into these ones. These are my least expensive leagues, and like money put in, money put out. I run a tight ship over here. There's no games. It's all Excel spreadsheets and pluses and minuses.
Love it.
I also have an Excel spreadsheet for my teams, and every team's listed in there, but it's not for money. It's how I'm going to do my team names for the year. And because I always go with the theme. So this year was A24, and every team was named after an A24 movie. And I left leagues because I didn't have enough A24 movies that I liked to have team names.
That's a good reason.
So, but they had a bunch of new movies come out this last year, so I could join some new leagues apparently.
There you go.
Adam, thanks so much for being here with us. We're going to go through the injuries that are out there. And let's just talk about them, because some of them, I don't really think they're hurt. I'm just being honest.
This is my least favorite week as like an injury analyst, is like trying to figure out like, is this guy really hurt? This week is tough. This is a tough week.
Somehow it's the best show of the season though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so out today, Anthony Richardson. The Colts got to fix their logo so we can get his name fit in there. Derek Carr, Chris Olave, Isaiah Pacheco, Gus Edwards, Joshua Palmer, and Amir Abdullah. Let's talk about Olave, because I feel like we haven't talked a whole lot about him this year because we haven't really seen much of him. Are we expecting him to come back next year or just be on the field again? And
yeah, I'm pulling up a tweet here because one of my good friends, he works for 4 for 4 and Destination Devi, Jeff, put out a good point about Chris Olave. It was basically talking around how the Saints really wanted to focus on like his mental health and having him feel good and trying to, I think, essentially retain him for the future. And part of that was like him being involved in football activities and being a part of the team. So he was cleared through the concussion protocol to like practice and be involved and kind of give him some purpose and be around teammates. But the plan was, I guess, for him never to come back this season. So looking at long-term, we kind of did this with Brandon Cooks like 3 or 4 years ago, where Brandon Cooks had like a bunch of concussions on top of each other. People are like, oh, Brandon Cooks should retire. He didn't, obviously. And he still had some productive seasons. I think for all intents and purposes, like Chris Olave should be back next season. He's going to be at a higher risk of concussion. If he has another concussion, we can cross that road when we get there. But we're kind of having this conversation with Tua as well. And it doesn't seem like Tua has any intent to walk away from football. So I think Chris Olave should be good. It's obviously a little bit scary, but I feel fine about him.
Chris Olave's I'm buying a lot of. Like, I'd already messaged you, Adam. Like, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, 2 of my special boys that are injured. I'm like, it's like, what's the deal? I was like, I got first burning holes in my pocket. You know?
Yeah. No, I have a lot of Chris Olave in Dynasty as well. It wasn't fun this year, but you know, some places I saw he's ranked like wide receiver 35 and 40 in Dynasty. Dynasty. That's insane. Yeah. So there's definitely a buying opportunity this offseason for Chris Olave, especially when the rookies get drafted. That's going to be everyone's new fun toy. Chris Olave might be forgotten about. I have really no worries about him in 2025 and beyond.
Perfect. Glad to hear it. Questionable to play today: Patrick Mahomes, Darnell Mooney, Christian Watson, George Kittle, Tony Pollard, Chico Okonkwo, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. Now, I had this graphic made up at the beginning of the show. Have any of these players officially been declared inactive? I'm sure some of them are not going to play. We do know Mooney is out today.
Yeah, I don't think Mahomes is going to play from what I was seeing. I haven't seen any official updates on these specific players. In terms of what I had projected, I do not think Chicken Okonkwo is going to play just based on his injury and timeline. I do not. I think George Kittle's probably truly 50-50. I think I had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle projected as active. If I'm not mistaken, the Dolphins definitely have something to play for this week, even though Tua is unable to go. Both of Waddle and Tyreek practice reports and timelines pointed at MD being active. Kittle, truly 50-50. The only reason I have it as 50-50 because Kittle is like a football psycho. I could see George Kittle like really wanting to play just because there's football being played on Sunday and he's a football player. But the 49ers don't have anything to play for, so George Kittle's a little tougher to project.
He's not on a graphic, but Josh Allen, he will be starting today, but it's just to keep that start streak alive. So I think he might take like 4 snaps and then be out of the game. Is that correct, Adam?
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
That's what I'd heard. So maybe like one series we see him and then get him the heck out of there because the Bills need to win the Super Bowl this year. That's their mindset. I expected to play today. Austin Eckler activated off the IR. Should we be excited?
Yeah. I mean, he talking about concussions with Chris Olave, sometimes those players need 4 weeks. Typically when especially running backs sit out for an extended period of time with concussion, return to play, projection in terms of fantasy points returns to their normal baseline. So yeah, I think you can feel good about having Austin Eckler back up if he's somebody you're looking to put in lineups.
Perfect. Flacco, Drake May, and Tanner McKee are all going to be out there today. I'm hitting the wrong button, guys. There you go. I'm good. Not expected to play today. Every major player for the Philadelphia Eagles. No Saquon, no A.J. Brown, no Devonta Smith. They're all out. Alvin Kamara, not expected to play today. Cade Otton, Tajay Spears, and then some Rams not ramming it today. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford are all out. Adam, I don't care if I missed any today because there were so many.
That's fair.
I always ask you, did I miss any? But today,
doesn't matter.
I'm still going to ask you, but I just don't care if I missed any. So did I miss any?
You didn't miss any. You
did
perfect.
All right, let's we covered the incentives and milestones. I'm going to touch on it again. Mike Evans has to hit 85 receiving yards today to hit 1,000 for the 11th time in his professional career. Cortland Sutton needs, I think it was 80 yards to get a contract incentive. DeAndre Hopkins needs a touchdown. Baker Mayfield has a bunch of things he can hit, including breaking Tom Brady's touchdown streak in a year. And then Kyler Murray needs to go 50 rushing yards and a touchdown to hit 2 incentives. So if you're out there and you're playing props, Kyler Murray, that seems like pretty doable for him. Seems like he can do that. So to look at that. All right, let's get back into the questions. We're going to be here with you guys until 12:30, so just about 15 more minutes. We'll hang out with you. We're going to get through all these questions, though. Matt saying, you got this, Grandmama. Yeah, he's going to lose in the league to us. Oh, Adam, we're doing a listener league, and you're in it. You don't have a choice. Oh, wait, you do have a choice. If you don't want to do it, just let me know. But I think
I'll just add it to the spreadsheet.
Yep. And if you need a team name, let me know. I've got a whole laundry list of them.
Perfect.
Olaf Bub, laughing out loud because we're so funny. Great. I've got a Washington D. It's good to That's for the after dark show. Mims on my taxi squad. What a rally.
Yep.
And Jeff, it's okay. You mistyped. I'm way back in the comments right now. This is fun. Spent. All right. Marvin the Martian. That'd be a good team name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can't put that one up, JB. I thought about it, but can't do it. And Matt's winning 30-30. It's good. Oh, no, he was the math earlier. The 300 buy-in. So yeah, he's doing good in the money. Matt, he's in here today, isn't he? I bring up dropping the kicker DST. Tried the kicker last year, every offseason in my home league, and every year it's shot down. What I would tell you is, okay, you're going to get shot down on this. Either start building alliances in your league with members to start voting your way, or like I mentioned, take a look at the positions and find out how to make the scoring more fun and figure out what platform you're playing on if they allow that.
You got to DM people when they lose to a defensive special teams. You got to be like, yeah, man, this is why we shouldn't have a defenses. You got to do that individually. Don't go in the group chat where everyone else get in there. It's very insidious. Just watch some Game of Thrones, some Succession. You'll figure it out.
And you don't even go highbrow with Game of Thrones and Succession. I do think, and I don't watch it anymore, but I think watching Big Brother taught me how to play fantasy football in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
that is, yeah, dude.
Because
Yeah.
I learned how to pit people against each other so well from watching that show.
Yeah.
And so watch, if I have to give some homework in the off season, go find a former season of Big Brother and watch it and watch how people manipulate each other. Like, yeah, you want to have fun with your friends and nobody wants to like see friendships end. And like, yeah, the groomsman in my wedding, I still talk to him, but I don't talk to him as much. And he's probably watching and I love him, but still like, dude, stop being such a jerk. But yeah, watch Big Brother. It will teach you how to play fantasy football. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Echo the sentiment there. Kickers and DSTs in all but one of my free leagues, but only one of my money leagues has a kicker. No DST. Yeah, there's lots of ways to skin a cat. I love when the chat talks to each other and they just forget we're here. That's the best.
Well, we were talking about Nosferatu for like 15 minutes since everyone was like, oh, okay, let's.
I really had to check my brain off, and I feel bad because I really wanted to talk about it with them, and I didn't want Zare thinking. I was like, I don't care about your opinion, but I really could have gone for an hour talking about it. And then so different settings I'm seeing people talk about. IDP is fun. Yeah, I play in a IDP league with it's 11 IDP positions. Defensive player positions. It's insane. There's so many fun ways you can play.
I'm about to make
draft defensive line.
I'm about to make a 20 team IDP dynasty league best ball. Like if you want in, Joey, like you're
best ball. Yep, you said the magic word. I will never say no to best ball because all I got to do is draft.
It's just draft.
Is there going to be a waiver wire?
It'll probably. I mean, yeah. But like if it's deep like I want it, but no.
Yeah, I'll join it. All right. Okay, Les. Keep an eye out for you this year, Joey. I saw Jagger on the Sirius set. You're on the Sirius set with Bob?
No.
Oh man.
Must have been another Jagger.
Yeah.
I mean, actually saw this comment and I'm like, oh, that was the other black guy in the industry.
Was that Ray?
Oh.
Is that the other one?
It was probably Ray or someone like if anyone dresses as extra as I do or like always put together, it'd be Ray. Like that's actually a fair. I'll let you have that one. Ray's also smaller than me, but it's fine.
Ray always has good hats.
Yeah,
I always see Ray's hats, and I'm like, heck yeah. And I know I'm kind of known for wearing a hat, but yeah, he's got a good hat game. Icebreaker Poker Tournament was fun. Such a great idea. So I ran the Icebreaker Poker Tournament. I was the guy bringing chips, breaking down tables. So you did meet me. So congratulations, okay, Lest. And then get some GD love in here. From the Netherlands, we have a question. Championship final. I need Charbonnet, J.K. Dobbins, or Pollard. Jagger, if you got to pick one of those guys, who would it be?
Pollard, we just got from someone that he's starting. So I would have him in to one of those spots. And then Charbonnet, I'd put him in right now. The Seahawks are playing spoiler right now. Kenneth Walker's on IR. Charbonnet's been kind of the offense for the most part. That's not a good thing. I'm like that he's been the offense, but
yeah, Luke, you've got three good options here. J.K. Dobbins, he would be a start for me in this situation, but his incentive that he needs to hit is kind of low. And I think he can hit that early, and then they might not need to go to him rest of the game. So normally I would pick Dobbins, but I agree.
I love your accents up there, guys. When I was in acting class, it's the roughest one for me to emulate. So I'm just too Southern for Netherlands. So.
No. Too Southern? Yeah. Andrea, what's up, buddy? Good morning. Thank you to everyone. We helped her win 2 championships, 1 second, and 2 third places. And I feel like my one loss was to her. It probably wasn't, but if you want to find a dynamite fantasy player, like poster person for it right there. Way to go this year. Yesterday, Dynasty, Superflex, PPR traded the rookie 2025, 208, 210, and the 410 for Olave. Thoughts?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
I like that.
You did good. Fourth round picks, for me, that's just icing. Like, yeah. Oh, here, I'll put a 4th round pick in there. Third round's a different story. She doesn't have a 1st round pick in Superflex Dynasty. Well, according to Jagger and Jeff earlier in the show, this is the year for that. All right, Luka, Kyler Murray. What'd you say?
So it depends. Just like show me your roster. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, Luka, Kyler Murray, or Bo Nix? Who's got more to play for today, Adam?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, probably Bo Nix.
Mike Evans is wearing a Mike Evans shirt. Get him in your lineups.
Oh man, that's he's the best.
Get him into your lineups if you're playing,
So
guys.
Like normally, like that kind of behavior, I'm like, come on. But like, Evans is real, man. I truly. So we go to Canton for the Fantasy Ball Expo. The year Mike Evans goes in the Hall of Fame, I might just go up a week early to be there for it because I want to see that guy get enshrined. He's giving me so many happy memories. Got third place in Superflex. Once again, the chat just hanging out with each other, just forgetting we're here. They don't need us. But Luca's got a question for us. Zacchaeus or Valdez Scantling? Adam, pick one.
I'm going to pick Zacchaeus. He's been hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
he has. Man, he looked good last week. And hopefully his good looking is today. And then next week, if they play the Bucks, he's just nowhere to be found. Matt, I'm loving you in the chat. You're keeping it alive today for us. Football Guys is fantastic. Everyone here, and this and FFT are my favorites. FFT being Fantasy Football Today, and those are the guys that got me started in the industry. So I will agree with you on that.
Big friends of Keith and Dave, all of us here. So
Dave Richard was the officiant at my wedding, and I just made that up. It's not true, but he is my guest every year on another show I do, where he is my birthday guest every year for my birthday because I like hanging out with Dave Richard on my birthday. Good managers, good shows. Yeah. All right, Christopher's in here. We love seeing you this season. Thanks for being here, dudes. No need for advice today, just props. So, does he need prop bet advice? Or just giving us props?
Sam.
Okay.
We're Sam. No, I'm just kidding. We're too deep in the
With your
trenches.
help.
We're like props.
Well, wait. With your help, I won the Football Guys Listener League. Congratulations!
Oh,
Whoa!
heck yeah.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, I remember.
Is this
Were
the
you
guy that?
Yeah.
Kluge,
The Dave
yeah.
Kluge? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the guy who beat Dave Kluge? Oh man. So,
I think
I
he
believe
is.
it is. Yep.
yeah. I can't wait to screenshot this and send it to Dave and have him
He's
respond with
gonna
a
be really
snide
happy
comment.
that you did that too.
I know. I know he is.
Can't wait for next year. Ooh, not if Dave's running the league, probably not. No, I'm kidding. All right, and I'm buying Olave where I can in Dynasty. I bought him last year. I in a few leagues. I was real early on it, and he just sat in my IR slot all season. But so I got ahead of the game a little bit. So I'm glad to hear you guys are a little optimistic on him. And Pollard is active. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, we got him out there today. Should be good. We tried to get Ayuk and yesterday. To heck with you, Commissioner Jerry. Yeah, I feel like Commissioner Jerry is going to be the name of all commissioners we talk about from now on because I just like the name of that. Commissioner Jerry. Pollard has incentives to perform. I bet on him and start him. Let's go. I had to read your comment, Toby, because I was a little afraid. Friends don't let friends play in leagues that have a week 18. That's correct. You guys were awesome this year. Thank you. You're awesome being here. Many thanks. Is it too soon to mock draft for 2025? Absolutely not. Go ahead and start it right away. We're doing a mock draft next week in Las Vegas, as a matter of fact. Yes, that's correct. With Josh Allen and James Cook to get his yards. So 2 incentives there. Scamper saying family show. That's probably when I said a-hole is when he's dropping that. And can't believe I said it all year. That was already show. I'll try keeping. Got a few guys on board. 1 year they'll crack 2. Took us forever to get to PPR. Yeah, I think everybody's had that point where they've just tried to get their league to go this setting. Yeah, I said I'm getting through all these comments. And I'm skipping some of yours, Matt, because they're just words. I can't put that up, but it was good, Matt.
The colorblind one? I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, I'll put it up then if you're okay with it.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, okay.
I chuckled.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I had to ask Jagger's permission if I could put it up.
Which crazy, in spirit, we kind of are the same. We kind of are the same in
No.
spirit. Like,
Jack, we got to do a show with Waldman. I think you have a couple times now, but we got to do a show with him recently. That was a lot of fun. Somebody I've always wanted to record with. So yeah. And then I get it. Feel bad though. Apologies to Jagger. Oh, don't scrap with Texas. Just want to say thanks for the amazing stream, guys. Hey, thank you so much. I will be inside of you in like 2 months. So I'll be in San Antonio. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It's technically true.
I wasn't going to touch that one.
Twan Simmons. I just now caught what you guys saying. You're bad. Pony Boy Productions. Should I start Tony Pollard? Should he?
Yeah.
And Twan, next year we're gonna need you to change your name just to Pony Boy Prod. Period. Like,
yeah, you use your rap name, and this is a safe spot. Use your rap name in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, Chris back in here. Not just Dave and Alfredo. Oh, love it. Love it. Big shout out to Brock for winning the inaugural Football Guys Discord Dynasty Championship.
Wow.
Congratulations, Brock.
I gotta hang out in there more. You guys do some cool stuff.
Yeah, we do. Shout out to the whole Discord is super awesome over there. And then guys, that's all the comments. So I normally give you guys the floor to say parting words. I'm gonna go first today, and I need like a minute because I want to thank everyone that helped the show go off this year. Because today is the last episode of the show until next year, when hopefully they bring us back. Thank yous to they're not exactly our producers, but they kind of are. Dylan McCarty for giving us our graphics and our slides and everything every Saturday night, getting it all done for us. We greatly appreciate you. And then touching it up on Sunday mornings. Alfredo Brown for getting the shows ready for us every week and all the graphics. Totally appreciate that, Alfredo. And then Joe Bryant for letting us to stay on the air. And hopefully, Joe, we'll be back next year, right? Yeah? No? Okay, we'll see. Our middle guests all season: Julia Papworth, Hutchinson Brown, Kevin Murray, Matt Montgomery, Victoria Geary, Dan Hendry. Thank you guys so much for being here. Also, Dr. Vig and Zare were here with us this season. We appreciate you guys being on with us and giving your advice to all of our listeners and watchers. Greatly appreciate you. And then special thanks to Dave Kluge for the text updates for when I miss stuff during the show. He's always quick to send me a text to be like, hey, this person's out or whatnot. So appreciate that, Dave. And then to my co-hosts all season, Jagger, Jeff, and Adam. Thank you guys so much. This has been the most fun season I've ever had in fantasy football because of this show. So I greatly appreciate you guys. But the most important person I want to thank is the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here every week with us and putting your funny comments and bringing us your questions and trusting us to help you win or lose your championships, hopefully winning more. But we appreciate everybody so much that watches this show and supports us. Make sure to like and subscribe. And with that, Jagger, do you have any parting words for the audience today?
I mean, you kind of said it all, man. It's been a lot of fun. I guess I'll just say that be back next year and stick with us to the off season. Me and Jeff, Joey, Alfredo, we even trying to get talking Adam into giving us some rookie injury reports for the future class. We really want to hit this rookie class hard, make a real draft community with the rest of you guys. Yeah, just head over to the Dynasty channel. If you want to talk nerdy movies or whatever, talk to me and Joey anytime, anywhere. We are just dying to talk about it. So I love you guys, and I'm happy that I've made friends with you, even though it's through this way. And maybe you'll see me at the expo at the Sirius booth one day.
Adam, what's up?
Yeah, no, everything you guys said, I just want to reiterate. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone taking time out of their Sundays and following along with Football Guys. We got a lot of great resources. Off season's kind of my favorite time. Get to kick back a little bit, but get to dive deep. We're gonna look over some things, go through some Excel spreadsheets, and be ready for you guys next year in 2025. Hopefully, giving A+ advice. So can't wait.
Yep. Perfect. In the chat, throwing out some other stuff in here for us. Matt's thanking us. Good luck. And I will go through the chat and I will accumulate the list of people that commented today, and we'll get you in the listener league headed into next year. And might need to find some different ways. JB's grandmama specifically please make sure you're in the Discord and send me a message so I can get in contact with you, because I don't think anyone actually knows who you are. And when we truly find out that you are Jeff Bell, that's going to be quite the moment, because that's what I have my money on at this point. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next year.